I said that because Anchor Baby said it, but it is something that I regularly say. It is at 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. Monday, the 11th of August, AD 2025. Shout out to Pastor Chatelet for helping to raid the stream over on the JLP show. Very nice. And shout out to Buddy 1205, Dustin Cross, Jules Verne, Tachcho, and the faithful over on the Rumble crew. So cool. We're going to have a fun, loosey-goosey, the Hake report. If you do join us. Various things to cover. Our greatest president, Trump, cleaning up D.C., by the way. Make sure you, or wants to anyway. We'll see what happens. And they're griping about it. Can you believe it? Yes, I believe it. Because the commies love crime. They are pro-crime. Pro-crime commies. How do you recognize a commie? They're pro-crime. As the great, what's up, Brandon? As the great Vox Day said, SJWs always lie. And we are all SJWs until we repent. We are all commies. We were born into communism. That is to say, sin. It's an evil human nature thing, really. But I like to call it communism as well. You know me. But the views expressed on this show do not represent Hake. I do not even represent myself, okay? They don't represent Bond or JLP. They don't even represent you or me. And the callers, oh my goodness. What's up, callers? I feel like this is different. I might have skipped videos, but this is kind of cool. It's nice. We're looking at the beach. What is that? Santa Monica, maybe? Anyway, yeah, no endorsement nor opposition is implied by people's appearances or statements that I make or that other people make. Oh no, that's Venice Beach, I think. Anyway, nice overcast day. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. I disclaim everything that these callers say. They don't know. And you don't know what they meant. You know what I mean? So, relax. It's not that serious. There's these gals. I'm conflicted. I'm torn because there's a woman who's starting a podcast, and this woman is my favorite, one of my top favorite Jews' wife. What a mess. And she's in the Trump administration. Shout out. She's Jewish too. So, I mean, it's understandable. Jewish people can talk. But sitting cross-legged on her like little couch seat thing, couch chair thingy. And so I don't know whether to support her or not. I'm kidding around. I'm kidding around a little bit about it. But there's just so much mess going on in the world. Like there's Drudge. You know, I still occasionally check a Drudge report. And Drudge was like promoting this guy as a what is that thing? The mega church pastor? He's a former youth pastor, okay? It's a pastor with an asterisk. But he's a writer on Substack. I'm on Substack, but I don't really write. There are Substack writers whom I support. Moral support, you know. I still haven't read what the internet had to say about Michael Tracy and Jeffrey Epstein. But Michael Tracy's on there. But This guy is like, oh, no, Trump supporters are not good people. But yeah, he turns around, and I'm fine with that. That's fair. But he turns around and says to the good humans, to the good people, to the decent people, to the decent human beings, as though non-Trump people who don't support Trump are decent and good sometimes. And that's never the case. As the Bible says, no man is good, not even one, as the Christian punk rock band sang. So anyway, guys, we'll cover that, hopefully, and your calls and your super chats. But let's just get right on with the show! No, it's not Friday. My bag. Show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I'm just fine, and you, unless you're a woman, are a beta male. Get yours by going to JERMAINE.shop. All right? I recommend it. Here, let's see. Let's see. If we mosey on over to JERMAINE.shop real quick, let me search beta. Nice. You are a beta t-shirt. You can get it in yellow, white, orange, darker orange, pale yellow, normal yellow, sort of a turquoise blue, sort of a green, blue-green, and others, I guess. At least for the time being, so get yours. Nice. Lee Peterson.shop. It's a JLP-related t-shirt. All right? So, real quick, I would like to get to a couple of calls and check for super chats, and we'll see how this plays out. Daniel in Texas is on the line over here. Daniel, thank you for calling and holding, man. Happy Men's History Month to you.
Thank you, James. Thank you for having me. Happy Men's History Month to you as well.
Much grass. Much appreciated.
I have a submission for Men's History Month.
All right.
Rodeo. Anyone who participates in the rodeo, all those men, and there are women, but primarily, bull riding and the Bronx and, all the crazy stuff. That's all done by men. So shout out to rodeo participants.
That's some serious stuff.
It is, man. Rodeo is, what's more dangerous than the rodeo?
And what's more pointless? No offense.
Well, there are prizes to be won, James.
Yeah. Okay. That is pretty awesome, though. Look at this. We're looking at a Wikipedia thing of a bull rider. Bullfighting is kind of bad, and then the run of the bulls or whatever that those Latinos or Spanish people do. That's pretty dangerous too. But this one is just a one-on-one. The bullfighting is interesting. That is a serious monster of a beast, and that looks like all just solid muscle.
Yeah.
Oof.
what is more dangerous than the rodeo?
I don't know.
I
don't
mean, you're
know.
basically
Space,
I can't
maybe
think of
maybe
any.
going to space could, I don't know. But this is like immediate. Oof. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you got to have some real guts,
Yeah.
because you fall off and you can land wrong, or the animal steps on you.
Right.
I mean,
Ooh.
but in Houston, I think it's the biggest rodeo in the world.
Yeah.
It's the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and it happens between February and through March and April. It's kind of a spring thing, kind of end of winter affair, and everybody comes into town with their livestock, and all the auctions, the livestock auctions happen, and then you have the competition, and then you have bands come, and I've seen ZZ Top more times than I can count. They would be there every year.
ZZ
great.
Top. That's
And
funny.
then when John Fogerty got his rights to his songs from Creedence Clearwater Revival, he performed at the rodeo. I saw him there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
The rodeo.
did the label own his rights at some point?
Well, the band had broke up, and I think he just kind of decided to fight for his song rights.
Okay.
And then once he got them, and I want to say it was like 2012 or something.
Wow.
Once he got them, he went performing, and he performed
nice.
at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and I saw him there. The rodeo is a great time. It's a great time.
Yeah.
And it's a great time wherever it is. They got rodeos all over.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So shout out to rodeo participants. Real men, a real man's man.
And so they put like a little saddle type of a thing, or they tie something around the bull to make him mad, right? So he's like jumping and uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, well, they tie a leather strap around their flanks, and it's a signal for the bull to do its job.
Oh,
because they're trained. They're trained to do that. The animals are trained. Yeah.
All right. So it's not just a pure desperation, discomfort that like it's getting stabbed with spikes and stuff. It is a
no.
The
it's
bull
not
is,
painful.
The bull is having fun.
Yeah, the bull is trained when this thing is wrapped around your flanks to buck.
Okay.
And bulls. Now, that's not to say that a bull isn't dangerous. Bulls are naturally dangerous.
Yeah.
But the bulls in the rodeo are even more trained to be more aggressive with their bucking.
Okay.
Which is why, but you want that because that's how you get points in your ride. If the bull isn't bucking, you don't get high points in your ride.
Okay. Yeah.
So you want an aggressive bull when you ride.
Wow. And bulls are male cows, right? They're just cows, but male.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. They're so much more manly looking too.
Yeah, and there are other competitions in the rodeo. It's just the bull riding is the most dangerous. But they got bronc busting and calf roping, and a lot of the sports are very athletic. You got to be very athletic too.
Oh yeah, you can't have a beta back, or it'll give you one. It'll give you a worse one. Now, do they have nerves in their horns? Does it hurt when they cut off the tips of their horns so that they're not so sharp? I guess that's what they're doing.
I don't know if they feel pain, but I do know that there are blood vessels in there, and you do have to be careful.
Yeah. Because
the animal will bleed out if you cut it wrong.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
That is so. That is. I started to say cool, but that's wild, man. It's too manly for me.
Well, their hide is real thick. Like in terms of feeling pain, when you think of spurring a horse.
Oh yeah.
Or branding animals.
Yep.
Their threshold of pain is a lot larger than our threshold. Their hide is very thick.
Nice.
So it's not those things are not really painful to the animal. It's just signaling to the animal to do something that it's trained to do.
Yeah. I think that there was I think I looked up something like a a badger or something like that. I don't know if it was a badger or the thing that's called a badger, but it's not actually a badger, honey badger. And one of those guys, they have like thick, 3/8 thick skin, 3/8, I think, of an inch, which is really thick, I think.
Yeah.
And that's just skin. That's not like fat. It's skin, I think.
Yeah.
So they can handle a snake bite and stuff, something like that. I don't know if it's a mongoose. I forget what it was I was reading about. But one of those little strong, cool animals. Animals are pretty awesome, man. And man's ability to subdue the earth. Do they kill the bulls, or am I confusing it with the bullfighter?
The bullfighters are known. You know, when you think of the Spanish bullfighters, the point is to kill the bull.
Okay.
And then they have the running of the bulls, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The bulls that they use in the rodeo are trained, and I think they just retire them when they're done. They don't do anything special with them.
Okay. And then,
you know, they take care of them. Those bulls, trust me, man. Those bulls live the life. They get all the cows they want. They get. Do not feel sorry for these animals. They live better than you and I promise you.
Interesting. Well, thank you for your Men's History Month contribution, man. Daniel.
Nice.
In Texas.
Right on.
Very Texas of you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow, that's funny. All right, let me get to Mark in Los Angeles, California. Mark, thank you for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
Good. Happy Men's History Month.
Thank you, sir.
Couple things. First of all, I wanted to answer Gregatron's question. He put it in the chat.
Oh.
His question to me was whether I served with Negroes in the military. Well, I did. You know, I had 3 black drill instructors in boot camp. I had a black sergeant who had been in Vietnam as my, supervisor. Good man. Most of the blacks I served with were good.
Yeah.
But I still don't believe in mixing.
Right.
I still think we'd be better with a segregated military. Now, the guy that, so I hope that answered your question, Gregatron. The guy that did the killing, Sergeant Hawley, when I was at Pendleton, he was a real quiet guy. You know, when we would start out the morning in formation, he would stand to the side. He was a little higher ranking than the rest of us, so he didn't have to actually stand with us. But he would stand to the side with his arms folded. He never spoke. He never talked. I never saw him do any work. I don't know what his thing was. He just walked around. And then one day, I had to go to the sick bay, and they were bringing in people and leaving me stranded because I had a real bad flu that year in December of '77. And Corman, the Navy nurse, came to me and said, "Oh, there was a shooting on base here." And then when I went back to my barracks, everybody was telling me about what Sergeant Hawley had done. Now, the 3 victims that he shot and killed were white, but he didn't use any racial slurs. In fact, what the other Marines told me was that he told them, the lower-ranking ones, white and black, to go hide in a room because he didn't want to. He was going after high-ranking officers.
Wow.
So what happened was, after his gun ran out of bullets, he just sat there and waited for the MPs to come in and pick him up and take him away, and he's been gone ever since. But he was the quiet type. He was the kind of guy that you wouldn't know anything about him. He never spoke. He may have been in Vietnam. I don't know. Not that that's an excuse for what he did.
Yeah.
But, that what reminded me of that incident was the shooting at Fort Stewart, Georgia. We still haven't got the race of the victims, and at this point, it doesn't look like we ever will.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but
normally when they don't give the race of the victim, they're white.
Right.
And usually if they don't give the race of the suspect, he's either a Negro, a Muslim, or a non-white. It's true. I mean, you could research that yourself. The other thing I wanted to say, first of all, last week I put Dean Cain in the Men's History Month Hall of Fame. And, one of the guys in the chat, who we both know, whose name isn't worth mentioning, said that Dean Cain wasn't a white man. Well, I know he's not. He's part Japanese. But it wasn't White History Month. It was Men's History Month. And
Yep.
I may have actually called Dean Cain a white man. My mistake. I stand corrected. But it's an easy mistake to make.
True.
And I stand by it. Dean Cain deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The last thing I have for you today, Hake, is Nick Fuentes. I just really discovered him. I know he's been around for a while, but after hearing you talk about him and checking out his postings, he's the best we got.
Nice.
He's very intelligent. I'd say he's practically a genius.
Yeah.
And I mean, he goes after the Jays, and he goes after the other conservatives, who I always thought Tucker couldn't be beat. But he kind of exposed Tucker as a CIA guy. I don't know if you know anything about that, but
I don't. I've heard him say it. I've heard him talk about his father being CIA, and I don't know.
Well, the reason it got out was when Tucker Carlson interviewed Putin. Putin, one of the first things he said was, "Your father was CIA."
Yeah.
And it's true, he was. But Tucker's thing was he didn't know about it till after his father passed away. But Fuentes showed clippings of Tucker talking about his father as a CIA man. So he made a liar out of Tucker. And
Yeah.
I've always defended Tucker and liked him. He's also went after Candace Owens. And for a black conservative, she's not afraid to take the Jays on. And for that, I gave her credit. Well, neither is Nick, and actually neither is Tucker to a degree.
Uh-huh.
So the three of them are good, but the best by far is Fuentes. He's even able to show in his clips the other conservatives and catching them in line. They'll say something that they said they never said, and then Fuentes will show it where they did say it.
Yeah.
I think Fuentes is probably maybe the best thing we got going right now. He's had his run-ins and disagreements with Trump too.
Right.
But what would be good? Is there any way you could get him on the show, on your show or Jesse's?
He's been on Jesse's show in the past. He's so banned on YouTube that it might not be wise at this time. But we're on his cozy.tv. That's his website. We stream on his website, or JLP is.
I see him on YouTube every day.
On
He's
YouTube?
Yeah, the same thing I get you on. They have his postings, every day.
Interesting.
I subscribe to his show or whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he doesn't take calls. But, I like to hear what he says every day. It's just him and Mark Dice and you are about the only three that I listen to. And Nick. Jesse's okay, but he talks too much family stuff and relationships.
Yeah.
And that's a bore. Love Jesse, but that's a bore. Well, and speaking of Jesse, and this really is my last point.
Yeah.
The last time I talked to him, he asked me if I loved all people.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I was honest about it. And he said that something to the effect, well, you're not going to be able to get to heaven because you don't love everybody. Now, that might not be word for word what he said, but here's my response to that. If you hate the people that killed our Lord Jesus, I don't think he's going to hold it against you on Judgment Day. I'll let Jesus Christ judge me, not Jesse, not anybody else. If they try to, it's a trick question, and I answered it honestly. And there is no man alive today that doesn't hate somebody. You could say you don't, but the difference is I'm not saying you, but anybody could say they don't. But by me saying, yes, I do, I'm being honest. And like I've said many times, and I'll stick to this forever, you can't love anybody unless you hate what tries to hurt it. You could twist that around any way you want, but you know it and I know it. If somebody attempts to hurt a loved one of yours, you're going to go after that person, and you're going to hate that person. You could say, oh, no, not me. I love everybody.
Yeah.
That's fake. That's a lie. Not calling you a liar, Jess, but you can't judge a man because he's honest with you when he says, yes, I do hate people. I do hate people. I hate the people that killed our Lord. And I think Jesus will allow that on Judgment Day. Either way, I'm going to answer the question honestly. and I'm not going to be tricked into any kind of oh, you're not a Christian now because you don't love everybody. Well, I don't think anybody really does. I don't think there's a person on earth that can honestly say they love everybody.
You know, an interesting point that you bring up is that there's a lot of fakers who judge you for being openly hateful and openly pro-white and so-called racist or whatever. And meanwhile, they're no better. They're every bit, like you just pointed out, as hateful as you are. Or in some cases, maybe even worse, if anybody's worse than anybody. So I am with you on the phoniness of people who say, "Oh, I don't hate anybody. I love everybody." Everybody says that, and it is a lie.
Of course it is.
Most of the time.
So when I say it, that I don't hate everybody, but there are people that I hate. I mean, the people that did 9/11. We're not supposed to hate them. That when they attacked us at Pearl Harbor, we're not supposed to hate them. If somebody hurts your girlfriend, your mom, your sister, your daughter, you're not going to hate that person. If you don't, you're not normal. Really, you're not. And it's not that I'm, trying to say it's okay to hate,
right? But
really it is. I mean, I don't care what people say. They know it. The people that criticize me know it. They know that everybody hates. And in the case of the Negroes, they hate us, and that's so obvious. They do everything but tell us to our face they hate us. So there's a lot of evil. I don't believe in the equality hoax. And I think I heard you say to somebody last week or maybe the week before that the only people that talked equality were Satan. Didn't you say that?
I did. I said Satan told Eve something like, "You could be equal with God," and that's part of what tempted her to eat the fruit of knowledge of good and evil.
Okay, but I never heard any quotes from Jesus or the Bible.
Right. Yeah.
Talks about equality.
No, it's just...
No, what the liberals will do is they'll point to this part of the Bible. I don't know the verse or quote, but basically, Jesus knew neither Greek nor Jew. And that is supposed to mean that everybody's the same and there's no such thing as racial difference. But I don't buy that. I don't interpret it that way.
Right. That's talking about in the kingdom of heaven. That means like in our spirit we're not different. But in the physical world, you are different and you treat people accordingly.
Well, yeah, but when you say different, or at least I don't mean just physical appearance.
No, I don't mean that either.
That's the most obvious difference.
Yeah, but the way that people behave, the way that what people earn for themselves in their positions and their work or lack of work, in their behavior. I think I said behavior already. But in their attitude, there are huge, and men and women, children, there's huge differences.
I may have said this before, but if you look at the nation of Japan, they're a first world nation. I know they're non-white, but they're they're a first world nation. There's virtually no poverty there. There's virtually no immigration there. And they do better than African countries where they have tons of natural resources and good weather and everything you need to make a great civilization. And they just can't do it. So there's an amazing difference for any objective person to look at and see there is such a thing as racial difference. We're not all the same. We're not all equal. Just because it's written down on a piece of paper doesn't make it true. And the man who wrote that, Thomas Jefferson, owned slaves. We've been through that before. But this whole equality thing is a communist hoax. That's all it is. Satanic, demonic, and communist-inspired on this earth.
I have one last question about the hate thing. Do you think that Jesus, when he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," when he was getting crucified and jeered at by the Jews and Romans, do you think he hates them?
No.
Yeah.
But he's the Son of God. And my question to you the other week was, what would Jesus say if he came back to earth and you know, Hake, ask him, who do you hold responsible for your crucifixion? That doesn't mean they're not forgiven, but the question is, who is responsible for Jesus being hung on the cross? I mean, I know they were supposedly they were forgiven. Take you at your word, but that doesn't mean they still weren't responsible.
Now, responsible is an interesting word because Derek, the black Nazi coon producer for JLP, he looked into it and it said, and I've heard this, I had this sense before as well as a kid from my teaching as a young Christian, right? That we're all responsible for Jesus' death because he died for our sins. The way it was carried out, yes, those people did it, right? Those people were pushing for it and wanted that to happen. And they pushed the Romans to do it. But he died for all of our sins.
Okay,
so we're all responsible.
I agree. But what you're missing is the fact the Jews who were responsible for what happened, first of all, they don't want to take responsibility.
Right.
Second of all, they refuse to accept them as their personal savior.
Yeah.
And that goes for the Muslims, too, and any other non-Christian denomination.
Even the Christians who don't actually accept him, because there's a lot of Christians who are just a mess, as you know.
Right, exactly. Like the Unitarians, those phonies that gave Trump that speech at that Unitarian cathedral.
Oh, yeah. I mean, have mercy on the immigrants.
She's basically the devil.
Yeah.
You know, to say that to Trump and try to accept homosexuality as normal, that's all evil.
Yeah.
You know, and the only hope for this world are white Christians. If we were to leave the earth or the country, everything would fall apart. The black people know it, too. They just won't say it because they have too much pride. But they know without the white people, they can't survive. Look how they're doing in Haiti. Look how where they threw the French out after they killed every white man, woman, and child on that. Okay, look what South Africa has become. Rhodesia, I can go on and on and on. But what scares me, and should scare everybody, is what's going on in London, Munich, Paris, Italy. Non-white Muslim migrants, if you want to call them that, have invaded these countries at the request of the leadership, you know, the traitors who run the government of those countries. And I would guess in 15 years or less, I think France will be an Islamic republic.
Crazy, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't see what's stopping it.
No, I know. Well, there was a rally, but I think it was in England, or Ireland's another one that's really been invaded heavy. But over the weekend, and again, I don't know if it was Ireland or England, they had a great big counter-protest by white English people to get these demons out of their country. You know, they're waking up over there like we're waking up over here. But I knew this would happen. 50 years ago when I got into this, I knew this day would come when white people would wake up and it would be too damn late. You know, all through my life I've heard, well, they're just a minority, don't worry. You know, they can't do too much because they're small in numbers. Wait till they become the majority, and that day's coming. And I'm not just talking about Negroes, but all non-whites and Muslims. If they ever take over this country, they're going to get us, man. They're going to throw away the Constitution and the Bible, and hopefully I'm wrong, but I think they'll try to start some sort of a genocide. You know, what's to stop them? As white people, we won't have any leadership to fall back on. Trump will be gone. The majority of the politicians will be non-white. The Supreme Court will be turned into a jungle. And the Cincinnati City Council, basically, will be running our government. And you know how inferior, feeble-minded, and stupid they are. We saw that 150 years ago with the Reconstruction. Now we're going to relive it in probably not too long from now. Trump will put a dent in this invasion, but he's not going to last forever. And all the millions that came in are having kids. And because of this communist birthright citizenship, all these demons are going to get the ability to vote.
It's
and
a
I
mess.
heard another piece of bad news. Amy Comey Barrett is talking against birthright, what Trump wants to do on the birthright citizenship. She wants to keep it as it is. That's what I
Crazy.
read.
We'll
they
see
haven't
what
had-
happens. I wouldn't be surprised. Mark,
Yeah.
I got to run, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you for everything, Hake. You're great. Appreciate
All right.
your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Woo. Some super chats, guys. Let's see here. Terrible. Over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Oh, man. I thought, maybe I didn't sign in. I was like, I thought I signed in. Because some of these super chats, if you make them private, only I can see them, but only when I'm logged in. So let me see if this works. Nice. A couple super chats from Cesar or Caesar, who says, "Sup, Hake? I was watching Godfather 3 first time over the weekend. Surprised to hear that at least two good quotes in the movie from the Godfather himself. I haven't watched any of these, actually. One says, don't hate your enemies. It'll cloud your judgment. Indeed. 2, never say what you're thinking out loud. I like that. I think that's a good rule of thumb, if you will. I don't know why it's called a rule of thumb. I might have looked it up once. There was a third quote, but I can't remember it right now. Thank you, Cesar Caesar. It's not Samantha, JLP says, when people accuse him of just talking semantics. It's not Samantha. That will forever be one of my favorite funny moments from JLP. LOL. It's my personal instant classic. Yeah, you said it a couple of times recently, people on the phone. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, people. 10 thumbs up. 10 hands celebrating, saying yes. P.S. I knew Mark was going to love Nick Fuentes. I would love... Yeah, happy Men's History Month. Men's History man. A young man. My competitor. I would love to see Mark talk to him one day. That would be an epic conversation. Yeah, I suppose so. And Cesar Caesar says, with another coffee, this coffee is for Anthony from California. You know Anthony from California, he calls in. Sometimes he's a Coptic Christian, and he knows more about the Muslims than he knows about the Jewish people stuff. And he says to Anthony, you keep getting hung up on the word respect, LOL, lots of laughs. Remember, I originally made the mistake thinking Mark used the word when he was making his point a couple Fridays ago. So our little debate using that word is null and void. But if you want the win, I'll give it to you, man. I don't know if you guys are trying to win. Maybe. Just know that all my information that I made to create my points, Muslims accepting or respecting Jesus, is backed by Grok. Based AI, which is never wrong and never liberal. Not. I put words in his mouth. But there won't be any more back and forth from me on this light-hearted debate. You are a stand-up guy, Anthony. We can definitely be friends, says Caesar or Cesar. Right on, man. Yeah, I think Anthony's kind of right to bring up the thing. Well, I'm harping on it now. The notion, it's like a fake gotcha against the Jews to say, oh, Muslims respect Jesus. At least they say he's a prophet. They don't say he's in HE double toothpicks boiling in something that I won't repeat, or something else that I won't repeat. I forget which. What's the difference? Spiritually speaking, we're all the Christians, most of us Christians, most of the Jews, and most of the Muslims are all in the same HE double toothpicks, no matter what the minutia is of what they supposedly believe about supposed Jesus. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? So I think that you can say, oh, it's kind of like saying the Pharisee praying in the street, or whoever it was, praying in the street, this religious man praying in the street about whom Jesus spoke. It may have been a theoretical person praying in the street. Oh, Lord, I thank you that I'm not like that guy over there. I'm wholesome. Not like that guy. And that, meanwhile, that guy over there is like, oh, have mercy, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And so that guy was being more humble, at least in Jesus' story. A lot of people pray that prayer, and it's not humble at all. But it feels like that, right? Comparing. It's similar to the equality lie. Equality and comparison between people. What, they're your standard of what's good or not? Better than the Jews? Please. As Jesus said, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees, and the Pharisees were known to be pretty righteous, actually, you cannot enter. Nice. So, shout out. Nice. Sweet. Thank you for your coffees. As always, Cesar, you faithful supporter. That's cool. Let me double check over on D Live. What's up? Chirp Alerter 5000. Kilo Alpha Tango. Groovy Monkey. Nice to see you. What is up? The Great White Pope. What's up, Jupiter? Hairy arms are okay. Slightly hairy arms are okay. You know, the forearms. Referring to, I'm just answering a question, a side question. I won't tell you what the question was. It wasn't even a question. It was just more of a speculation thing. Hello to the people watching on X and Facebook and pill.net. Tyrannosaur is wrecked. And Coffee Talk. I'm live on BitChute of all places. Dustin says the Pharisees knew the law better than anyone else. So even if they couldn't follow, what makes you think you can or will? He says. Right on. Okay, before I get back to the calls, 1-888-775-3773. Hang tight. Let's see. I wanted to get to a little bit of the news that's going on here. If you mosey on over to the HakeReport.com, there's that meteorite that went down to Earth, and part of it at least, came through the roof of a house. It's sort of interesting stuff going on over here. In Georgia, down in the south, they call it the McDonough meteorite. And it's older than the world, they say. Tore through southeastern United States skies this summer, determined to be older than Earth itself, researchers say. Remember I showed you all these women who were talking about this incident? A meteorite tore through the sky in June, shaking the southeast with a sonic boom. Oh, okay, so the reason I overreact to that is because we were not allowed to say sonic boom to the Sonic Boom kid. I hope he's not watching. Hope he's past the trauma. Because he would suddenly go like this and run into like a pole or a wall or something. It was crazy. But it was such a weird thing. And he would literally do it in a junior high and high school. I told one of my white friends in high school about it, or my one white friend in high school about it, and he said it to the guy, the young man, the kid, and he ran into a wall, like got all crazy, Asian guy, got all crazy, ran into a wall. And then one of the teachers or women who helped take care of these people or whatever in the school came up and scolded him. Terrible. At least he didn't point at me because I told him about it. So he didn't tattle on me. Whites don't tattletale. They don't tattletale just to get themselves out of trouble and to get the other person in trouble. They might tell on you if it's right, an actual crime. The blacks call that snitching when you should do it. But tattletaling is just petty. We learned in kindergarten not to tattletale. So just a little thing side note about the sonic boom thing. And I think sonic boom was like a Street Fighter thing. Sonic boom. I don't know. Crazy. Whew. Crazy people. Just a side note. So anyway, yes, University of Georgia received 23 of the 50 grams of McDonough meteorite, named after the Georgia city where it ripped through the roof and ceiling of a home, because it broke up, right, according to the university. So, I don't know. A long history. This particular meteor that entered the atmosphere has a long history. History, doesn't that mean writing or a story or something like that? Maybe there is a story. It tells a story. I guess the features on it and flaws on it tell a long story. And the core of it. Scott Harris. Nice. They quoted a man for once. A low metal L ordinary chondrite or chondrite type of stony meteorite 20 million years older than Earth by using optical and electron microscopy or whatever. Belongs to a group of asteroids in the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. We now think we can tie to a breakup of a much larger asteroid about 470 million years ago. You guys falling for this? I am, kind of. I don't know. I don't know. But in the breakup, some pieces get to Earth-crossing orbits, and if given long enough, their orbit around the sun and Earth's orbit around the sun end up being in the same place at the same moment in time. So cool. Which indicates that they just, kind of splatter Earth a little bit now and then. So cool. Dang. Wow. Mind-boggling stuff. Oh, here's the picture of the roof that it went through. Or the ceiling. And it hit the wall. It dented. And that's oak. That looks like oak. Oak is hard. Homeowner's floor. Oh, it may not. Is it solid wood floor? I don't know. Is that solid wood? I don't know. That might be vinyl or linoleum or something. Cool though, huh? Traveled fast enough at an angle it was able to pass through a homeowner's roof, ductwork, and ceiling. Oh, so it broke through ducts? Awesome. Still finding specks of space dust around his living room from the collision. 27th meteorite in history recovered in Georgia, and the 6th witnessed fall. A daytime fireball, a rare occurrence. Easier to view at night. Fireballs are. They must be much brighter to be visible during the day. Quite rare for sonic booms to be heard on the ground when a fireball occurs, per the American Meteor Society. Will you look at that? That's somebody's dash cam screen still, if you're watching the video feed. South Carolina. A fireball in an unusually bright meteor reaches a magnitude of over -4, brighter than Venus. Whatever, I don't understand that. It didn't take the McDonough space rock pummeling through roofs for others to spot it. Yeah, anyway. Pretty cute story, huh? Space. Space. So real. You know what else is real? That guy died. Hanks. Here's what Tom Hanks, liberal liberal Tom Hanks said. I'm chuckling because I'm picturing him trying to play Mr. Rogers. There are people who dare, who dream, who lead. Oh, I can't read. This is boring. But anyway, Jim Lovell went further into space and far for longer than any other person on our planet, at least for a long time. He was a daredevil kind of thing, basically. A dare man. A tribute. Isn't that a cute tribute? Rest in peace to Jim Lovell. Tom Hanks. I watched Apollo 13 in 1995. What was that? Freshman year, high school, something like that. Yeah, there's there's that guy. Kevin Bacon was in that. I remember one of these guys said, it hurts to go number one. And the guy's like, you're not getting enough water. No, I'm dying. Something like that. I don't know. It was a mess. But he posted on Instagram, Jim Lovell. Rest in peace, Jim Lovell. Look at that guy. Way better looking than Tom Hanks, by the way. No offense, Tom Hanks. Liberal. Look at that. Wow, that suit is big on him. I mean, it's like the right size, I guess. 97 years old. That's not too bad. That's the tender age of 97. Is that old enough to be living and then die at 97? That's respectable, I think. I don't like it when people die in their 80s or 70s. It doesn't make any sense. 80s, I guess, but 80s, still this young. Famed NASA astronaut Jim Lovell commanded the harrowing Apollo 13 mission, forced to abandon a lunar landing attempt in 1970, died at 97. So they had to orbit, or what'd they have to do? I think they must have orbited around the moon, right? USN, whatever that is, Captain James A. Jim Lovell, Navy pilot, officer, astronaut, leader, space explorer, said his family. Space is real, guys. Is that a real picture of him? 1966, Gemini spacecraft. Gemini 12 mission. Edwin Aldrin. Is that Buzz Aldrin? Or am I confusing that? Seen in the left in the background. Is that Buzz? What a cool name, huh? Am I a sucker? Oxygen tank on the service module exploded when they were about 200,000 miles away from Earth. Whoa. Houston, we've had a problem. Oh, that's where it came from? I don't know if I knew that. Don't know much about history. Then they splashed down in the South Pacific Ocean after about 3 days after the tank explosion. Ooh, the successful failure of the Apollo mission. So I don't think, I asked Grok, speaking of Grok, shout out to Cesar or Caesar, I asked Grok if any astronauts have floated off into space, like I think I saw on the Superman movies. And he said no. He said no, it hasn't actually happened. They take great caution that does not happen. Oh, that was a Ron Howard movie. Is Ron Howard the one who was in Happy Days? He's the redhead. Is he a Christian? I think he was. Yep. He was the child actor on Andy Griffith's show. What a mess, huh? You look at him and he still seems kind of like a kid, but an overgrown kid. And is he kind of liberal? I feel like he might be kind of liberal, which isn't fitting on a man, especially if he's a normal white man. Other than the fact that you cut him slack because he's in the Hollywood world, but maybe he's not even a normal white. He might be like Let's see. German, English, Scottish, Dutch. Yeah, he's supposed to be like a normal, but I guess you're not that. No one's really that normal. Even the normal whites, when you look into it, when you look more deeply, they're not actually that normal. So, McDonough, Meteorite. Meteorite means it hit Earth. And R.I.P. Jim Lovell. Apollo 13. I didn't know it was Houston. We have a problem. I didn't know that was him. It didn't even occur to me to wonder what that's from. All right. Anyway, I got to get back to the calls. Hang tight, people. Alex in California is on the line here. Alex, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Icky Bear.
Hey.
I couldn't think of a Men's History Month accurately, but I know the guy's like nickname, and he was a famous American sniper in Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
Hathcock. They called him the Rooster.
All right. Hathcock. The Rooster.
Maybe Carl, something like that.
Sniper. In which war? Vietnam?
Vietnam.
Carlos Hathcock. H-A-T-H.
There you go, Carlos.
Carlos. H-A-T-H-C-O-C-K. The second. Carlos.
Oh, so he's not a white?
Let's see. Born in Little Rock, Arkansas. Parents Carlos Norman Hathcock the first and Mae Thompson. He's probably white enough to be hated. Let's see.
I mean, he looks white.
Yeah.
But Carlos, that sounds suspicious.
I know. Nickname White Feather. I wonder if he. I wonder if he's part American Indian and part Mexican or what.
Yeah, maybe.
But
if you look into his story, he's a pretty tough guy. He like crawled through a couple 100 meters or something to take out some like commanders or something, and he had to stay there for a long period of time. But very tough guy.
Wow. Carlos Hathcock. Interesting, man. Well, that's a nice Men's History Month contribution, even if he's not white, I think.
I mean, just like Butterbean, I'm like, oh crap, I need a Men's History Month, and it was just the first dude who came.
Hey, man. I mean, your off the cuff contributions are quite interesting, man. Very nice.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So today, towards the end of Jesse, you guys were talking about AI, and I thought you guys were, both you and Jesse were right on point. Jesse said it's meant to deceive, and you said it's nothing but facts.
Yeah, right.
And I'm experiencing a little bit of annoyance with the use of AI right now, and it ties into what my subject is today, which is Australians are not white.
Okay. Interesting.
And what I mean by that is real white is white American. I know we come in, there's dynamics to it as well. You know, there's a few different types of American white. You got your rodeo types like we were talking about earlier. You got your country club types, your rich hoity-toity. And then you kind of got your like rock and roll types, more like me, I guess. But yeah, like the way that we treat each other and conduct ourselves as American whites is much different than Australian whites. You know how like friends will bust each other's bees, as they call it?
Yeah.
Kind of give each other a hard time, but it's nothing serious. Like we're all, you know, we just do it back to each other. They have that, but it's called have a go. And it's a much, it's not in like a good spirit. It's in a mean spirit. Versus ours, which is a good spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, where you're bashing each other, but it's tense, but it is good natured, ultimately.
Yeah, like make fun of each other's moms or how each other's jobs or something.
Yeah.
Silly stuff, nothing serious. But they go for more of the serious stuff. And yeah, I'm at 4 for 4 now. Usually they say in life when it's like 3 times, it's like a confirmation usually. I'm 4 for 4 now. Australian dudes, just complete POS people. All of them turned out to be like ex-druggies, and one right now that's bugging me. He keeps sending me these albums he makes. So he pumps out these albums like every day with his little AI program. And he's doing about 3 or 4 a day, and each of them is about 8 to 10 songs. And I know as a person who does music, I've been doing this my whole life, that's impossible. And, coming out with the artwork and the logos and the band names. And I just started to get suspicious because this guy's sending me like 4 albums a day.
Yeah.
And so I checked it out, and it turns out to be complete nonsense. And it's just, this guy's whole scheme is to pump out like 50 AI bands and then try to generate, revenue from that. But the music doesn't even have vocals, and it's unlistenable garbage because it's made by AI. And I mean, you can get away with that. Like there's a lot of country rapper artists that are coming out now. I think I mentioned that before, but those guys can download a song, and people listen to rap are retarded, so they're not going to understand the difference. But like a metalhead or even heavy rock, like you can't get away with that because it's like you're trying to give grape juice to a wine sniffer. You know what I mean? So it's like we're not going to be fooled.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. And this isn't the first time that I've dealt with Australians doing schemes like that. So I don't know. I just think 4 for 4 now. It's probably confirmation for me. I'm boycotting them for sure.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone else has had experiences with Australians, but I guess they are like a prisoner colony or whatever. So it explains their rough demeanor. But I don't know. I don't like them. And I don't know if is that considered racism if it's white on white in the normie world?
Well, maybe so, but I think that it's like what you just said. It's based on the behavior and the patterns that you've experienced. I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean, it's not that important, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Man, I've noticed that they cuss a lot, and they're sometimes pretty nasty. Like
very nasty, very immoral. I haven't really come across like a Christian one.
Wow.
They're all atheists, or they hate God. At least the ones I've come across. Yeah.
I hate to do this, but didn't one of them come up with one of those great questions about if all the whites disappeared?
It was a conversation that we had between ourselves, so it's 50-50. But that person actually had a falling out with recently, and it's interesting. Like you can't see the forest for the trees, and I can't blame everything on another person, but it's kind of like the company you keep. When you drop these people, you realize how like distracted and disconnected from what's important when you're spending time with people that don't have like any ambition and stuff. It's like me, I'm a real go-getter. I'll spend hours doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to take the time to learn how to do it versus someone who just wants to sit around and watch TV. And I don't know, it's just like, why was I spending time with someone like that? He was just a lump on a log. So it's just nice, like dropping that. And then, now I've been much busier and focused. So
that makes a lot of sense. It reminds me of when it reminds me of one of the times when my girlfriend broke up with me. I ended up getting so much more like productive, be able to back to work and actually do stuff in life. Rather than being all trying to chummy, not necessarily chummy, not the right word, with my girlfriend type of thing.
Right. And I know it's a difference between a girlfriend and a friend, but there's definitely a big similarity with just the relationship in general.
Yeah.
Like you're spending time with someone.
In general, I feel like you should be more like arm's length with people. And it's kind of like a you problem, like you just mentioned, where you didn't realize that you were just wasting time being a chummy with your friend.
In a sense, yeah. I mean, I'm like being kind of harsh about it, but yeah, in a sense.
Yeah.
And it's worse when it's okay, this person is gossipy and talks smack about all the other people around him, so I know he's doing the same to me with his people. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I don't know, just dropping people like that. Yeah, 4 for 4 Australians. They're not white. They're not like us. I don't know if you have any Australian listeners. You guys can chime in on what your problem is with the whole having a go. And how you guys can't just be respectful and have manners and be normal. And AI for music is just awful.
It reminds me, man, what you're talking about reminds me of, you know how in the 60s in America, the hippies were all about, I heard, somebody was all about letting it all hang out, meaning their moral degeneracy. Maybe in Australia, they had something like that with being just unmasked, unfriendly. And they think that that's a good thing to be. They think that's being real.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. They act kind of almost black if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of almost a black behavior.
I'm half joking when I say this, but I wonder if it's the hours they keep. Because you know how they have such different hours from us? It's like early in the morning, midnight, and stuff like that when it's normal hours for us. And so they don't get enough sleep. But
closer to the ice wall, too.
Yeah, true. Interesting, man. Well, very good input. Some tough love from some Christian correction for the
America versus Australia. Let's do this.
Our Australian brothers, our greatest ally, some people have said, is Australia, and they're the scum of the earth. It's terrible.
They got to get some guns first.
Yeah.
Get their act together.
Wow. What a mess.
All right, Hake, you have a good one.
You too, man. Great call. Take care. Wow. So, give us a call, Australians. Jermaine in Canada. Canada is on the line. Jermaine, thank you for calling and holding, man. Happy Men's History Month to you. Oh, no. Come off of mute.
Hello?
Hey, there you are.
Hey, Hake.
Hey, thanks for calling.
No, I was at my desk. I was on my company line.
Cool.
Yeah, how are you today, man?
Doing well. Thank you.
Amazing. Nice. Oh, yeah, my question for you. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So, regarding the whites, what's wrong with the whites, man? What's wrong with your people, Hake?
I think a lot of us are too nice, which is not right. It's like nasty. Fear. Bitter. Comparing. It's stuck in our heads. It's terrible.
You know what I've noticed, actually, now that you mentioned that? With the younger generation, I don't think it affects the older generation, but the younger generation, they want to be like the blacks.
Yeah.
And the blacks want to be like the whites. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah, because the blacks are so stylish and athletic and cool and stuff, entertaining. And so people want to be entertaining and stylish and stuff. And so there's this copying. And it's kind of against our will in some cases. I'll say stuff that originated as black vernacular, like cool, I think. And so
it's in the culture.
Yeah, it's like it's huge, man. Like Alex in California mentioned, the rap is just infiltrating the country music, the folk music. And I like rap. My first album, my big brother bought me a Christian rap album, cassette tape. But
nice.
But it's a problem.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of rap Christian artists coming out now, right? I've seen a couple of things like that.
Yeah, and they're all liberal Black Lives Matter supporters, except for a couple of them. But even those even those ones who are not Black Lives Matter supporters, they're angry, nasty, judgmental, intellectual Christians. Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed, and this.
Go ahead.
This has been a thing. Like the younger whites, even the males too. Like mostly the girls though, but they want the body type that the black people have, like the curves and all of that, right?
Yeah, true.
And then
Of the women
then-
and the males.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then the sorry, where was I again? And then on the black side for the female, they use the wigs, you know. You and what's his name? I forgot the other guy. He always call in, and you and him always talk about the black's hair.
Are they real hair? Yeah, William the Third.
Yeah. Well, that's funny. So it's just interesting regarding that. And I was downtown on the weekend, and I realized that a lot of white people, they like to go do things, right? Not saying the blacks doesn't do it too, but the white people, they like to go hiking, biking, and do all of this activity. And I was like, that's interesting because I don't really do much, right? But it kind of shows that we're all trying to run away from our demons inside, like get distracted and do activity so we're not alone or we don't sit in that loneliness and face it. So that was interesting to see. Even though the blacks does it, they do it and it become a violent after that because some stuff always goes down. There's always some violence regarding in it.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
They
You probably
just
heard.
can't be in peace. Can't you just be civilized? There are some who can, but then they're just so lenient and so used to the uncivilized. And they're so
That
loud.
is true.
They have a higher tolerance for loud and disorderly. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a thing on Twitter regarding this guy, Doug Wilson, the Christchurch guy.
Oh,
And-
the Doug Wilson is the name of the guy who did the Christchurch shooting in the Kiwi land in New Zealand against the Muslims?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This is the guy that he wants to make his town Christian, the state, and the nation, pretty much the world Christian.
Okay.
And Pete Hegseth repost this tweet, and I was listening to Mark when he was talking about the Muslim there in Europe pretty much, and they want their theology or their belief to be imposed on this country that they moved to. So he was having an interview with the CNN, and he said he wants to be a Christian town in the state, and pretty much national wise. And she was saying, "Oh, so what if someone is of Muslim belief? What would you tell them?" It's like, well, if I move to what's that place called?
Allah
Sudan.
Town.
Yes, let's use Allah Town. He's expected.
Because Christchurch, let's go to Allah Mosque. I don't know. If you remove... Yeah, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so he was saying if he end up moved to Sudan or somewhere in Allah Town, they're going to expect him to live under their law, right?
Right.
So like you're moving to a Christian country, at least respect the law of the land, that it was built on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do your thing, but like it's a Christian nation.
Right.
So that was funny. And then he went on to a part and he says, women are people that people comes out of. That cracked me up.
That's true. That's funny.
That's hilarious. And so they're trying to get back to the church is established, like male leadership and women submit and all that good stuff, and women shouldn't be in leadership. So I find it interesting. I'm like, this is a good thing for you to cover on your show.
And what's the guy's first name again? I mean, what's the guy's name again? Who's doing this? Pushing this?
Doug Wilson.
Doug Wilson. Out of Christchurch.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. He's a Christian nationalist type of a guy. They call him, probably.
Yeah. Did he say he's a nationalist? I didn't think he said that, but I mean, basically, I guess it would fall under that.
So is he the 72-year-old theologian guy?
Yes, that's the guy.
Wait, this is Moscow. Wait, this is in Idaho, not Christchurch, New Zealand. Christchurch is the type of church that he that he.
Yeah. Yeah, this is in the States, yeah.
I'm all confused. I'm thinking, oh, this is a New Zealand, because Christchurch is a city in New Zealand where Brenton Tarrant, thank you to Age of Inversion or whoever that was, told me, Brenton Tarrant shot up some Muslims in some mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, but not to be confused with Christ Church, which is, I think that's Bill Lockwood's church too. He's a Christchurch pastor.
Yeah.
As well.
I was looking it up. I'm like, isn't Bill Lockwood part of this church?
I think so.
Because they have multiple church over the state.
And I think they're all pretty independent, but they're like very biblical and stuff like that. So this guy's out of Moscow, Idaho. Who knew that there was a Moscow in Idaho? I might have known that. Interesting. Well, thank you for the tip on this. So he wants America to be Christian.
Well, we are. It's so funny how the interview worded. So you want America to be Christian? I'm like, we are a Christian country.
Right. Yeah.
So it was kind of funny.
I love boomers, man. This guy's a 72-year-old white man, Christian man, looks like. Cool.
Yeah. You probably heard my story on the JLP show today. I got myself in a pickle, man. But I end up going to an Apple store.
Oh, okay.
And you know they have this Apple Vision something. I forgot the full name of it. But you put it on your face, and it's like it gives you such a great experience. You get to watch a movie in 3Ds. You sit there in a theater.
Yeah.
And it brought you such a great experience. And I was aware that I was there, but I was also in the simulation.
Virtual reality type of goggle thingies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is crazy how people are going to go even more unconscious.
Did it look real or did it look like a cartoon?
Oh, it's so real, Hake.
Wow.
It's so real. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's crazy, man.
Scary.
Oh, it's scary. I think AI is not scary yet. This is way more past AI crazy.
Wow. Imagine AI mixed with VR, virtual reality. Interesting.
Yeah,
man.
it's like it seduce you.
Yeah.
And you're like they put you in a game where you can watch a basketball game and you're literally sitting courtside, right? So let's say you can't buy the ticket, you can't travel to Australia to see a safari and all these other things.
Yeah.
You can literally sit in your living room, put it on, and you're there. So
wow.
It's just wild. I was like, whoa.
And then they need a wind machine to go when you step outside so that you feel like you're there too.
Full experience on. You're gonna build a sofa that give you all of those. The AI, they're probably gonna put AI mixed with the visual eyes, and then the sofa gives you the vibration, everything else. That's crazy.
Nice.
All right, man. That's pretty much what I want to call you about today.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the call, and happy Men's History Month to you.
All right, you too. Happy Men's History Month. Bye.
Bye. Okay, the lines are filling up. There is one line open, 1-888-775-3773. I want to see if I can get to a couple more news items here. Watch out over there. There's dinosaur tracks that they uncovered supposedly in Central Texas. You know how they had the flood where those girls died? It was for a reason. Dinosaur tracks. 100 million year old footprints, says Commie Nonsense Network. And I'm laughing as though I'm incredulous, but I don't know. Could be. I don't know how they figure 100 million years. I'm not denying it. I'm not one of those young earthers necessarily. Although I did hear from a young earther, and I was pretty convinced. And that's sort of when I realized that I have no idea. I'm very easily convinced of things. So I like my disclaimers. It reminds me that I don't know. The Texas floods washed away debris and dirt and uncovered 100 million year old dinosaur tracks. So reports Gordon Ebanks and Zenibu Silla. out of Common Nonsense Network. I don't see the dinosaur. Oh, is that it? Wow. Is this taken from a high up? Because that looks like a brush that's been burnt up, and then new plant, and there's the dinosaur track. That's supposed to be a dinosaur track? Am I supposed to believe this? Is that what it is? Like, how big is a person? I need a scale. I need somebody to put a quarter or a shoe or a person or a car so that I have scale. That's why I show stuff, my hand, for scale when I'm doing the beach stream. But cool, huh? 135 people died so that we might know about the dinosaur footprint in beautiful, whatever. Unambiguously dinosaurs left by meat-eating dinosaurs similar to Acrocanthosaurus, 35-foot-long bipedal, two-footed carnivore, says Matthew Brown, paleontologist, Jackson School Museum of Earth History and University of Texas at Austin. Sounds liberal, but maybe it's true. I don't know. Cool. So yeah, they were looking for stuff, right? What was the story? Real quick. The devastating flooding swept through Texas Hill Country early July. 4th of July, remember that? Terrible. Unearthed prehistoric discovery in Travis County Monday, so say experts. 15 large three-clawed dinosaur footprints scattered in a crisscross pattern along the Sandy Creek area. Wow. Interesting. Nice. What else was sort of interesting to me? Oh, this story is kind of sad. So it's kind of sad, but it's kind of messed up, and it's I don't know. It's about a female cop, but they don't admit that it was a female cop. Let's see, taser. $9 million. Louisiana authorities agreed to pay a man who was partially paralyzed from the waist down. Terrible. Reminds me of their governor in Texas. A tree fell on him, according to the story. I heard he's still getting payouts. I don't know if that's true. But a trooper, woman, shot him in the back during a 2018 traffic stop and then falsely reported it as a taser discharge. What? You're not supposed to lie. Louisiana is going to pay $9 million to a man. And why did she even need a taser thing, you know? This guy should be paying Louisiana, but instead, because she messed up, this woman, allegedly, or whatever. Look at this. Ridiculous. I don't want your... Let me calm down. This is obnoxious. This is an unusable website. I'm getting mad because there's this H&M clothing ad with a cute little white child, and I can't read, and I'm getting ticked. Here, let me move myself up. Louisiana is going to pay $9 million to a man who was shot in the back by a state trooper during the traffic stop. Look, the ad is still not going away. Let me zoom all the way out. Maybe it'll go away this way. I'm actually lucky that Common Nonsense... Look at this. Look how far I had to scroll. What? Oh, no. Did I do something? Is it going to come back? Normally it comes back. Well, I guess I'll just have to read it to you. I'll bear with it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It turned black, Anchor Baby. But I'll just read this story to you. So, I wish I could show you because you can't really tell that it's a woman who did it. But woman cop shot a guy in the back. Okay, yeah, it's still not showing up. That's weird. Did I do something? Did I click something? What's that? Oh, there we go. Nice. All right. Anchor Baby, saving the day. There we go, and it's working too. Hey, he got rid of the ads for me. So look at this. It must be nighttime because it looks like night vision if you're watching the video feed, 2018, July 10th, it looks like. Around 2:15 in the morning, 2:16. What a terrible incident. Here's the guy, here's the a car, a truck, SUV type thing, and here's the woman shooting him. Is it another incident of taser, blam, oops? In this image from surveillance video obtained by the Louisiana State Police, Trooper Kasha, it looks like a black woman's name, but it's not. Dominique. Kasha Dominique. Unless she's part black and I just can't tell. You know, in Louisiana, they're all mixed. Not mixed up. They might be mixed up too, but confronts Clifton Scotty Dilley in Baton Rouge, early July 10th, 2018. Yeah, 2 in the morning. Nothing good happens after. What? Did it literally? Kasha? Oh, Lord, this is obnoxious. It doesn't want me to. Okay. Kasha Dominique. Yeah, here she is. Oh, it was a teenager. So he was a young man, but he was like 18 or 19 maybe. He got a settlement. Left him paralyzed. I guess it's sort of. I want to see the picture of the woman. I'm looking for the woman the cop. Yeah, there she is. There she is.
WordPress.com.
Oh, is it a white guy?
Create a beautiful website.
Don't tell me about this WordPress stuff.
From the investigative unit, court documents say a man has reached a settlement with a former Louisiana State Police trooper after she shot him in the back during a traffic stop in July 2018. Clifton Dilley tried to run from the...
Is that white on white or is she normal white? I don't know. Is he normal white? I don't know either.
When Kasha Domain opened fire on him. Court records...
Domain is her last name. It looked like Dominique. Maybe I can't read, which is the case.
Say Domain radioed in that she only tased Dilley and filed a false report on the incident. Officials later arrested Domain in October 2020, and LSP fired her in March 2021. Her record was expunged in October 2023. Domain is banned from working with law enforcement.
Wow, what a mess, huh? Please don't auto-start a new video, people. So it was a woman. But he shouldn't have been acting like that, you know? It's kind of his fault, too. Domingue. Okay, yeah, there's no vowel in between the N and the G. Domingue. Pulled over a red Saturn. Oh, so it was a Saturn SUV type of a thing? Saturns. 2018, making an illegal U-turn. The driver took off running and yelled to whoever Dilley is. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. After speaking to the driver, so he wasn't even the driver. She went back to her patrol car to review his license probably. The driver took off running and yelled to Dilley, the guy who got shot, and the car's 2 other passengers to do the same. So there's 4 people in this car. A car full of teenagers carpooling, you know what I mean? At 2 in the morning. Okay, so Dilley got out of the left rear car door at the same time whatever her name is. Her name is Kasha. Not to be confused with Kesha. Exited her vehicle. He tried to run past her. She shot him in the lower. I'm laughing, but it's terrible, right? She shot him in the lower back. She radioed she had tased him. Maybe she thought that she had. I don't know. Or she could have been totally lying. You know, a woman will like mess up and she'll be like, what? They're not reliable witnesses or sources or anything. It's kind of like this woman who's in jail, the friend of Epstein. Now, like, there's a cellmate of hers who's saying, oh, she has dirt on Trump. When another time she had supposedly said that she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. The world. Women. They also said she lied further, filing a false police report. Arrested for aggravated second-degree battery, illegal use of a weapon, October 2020, which was after the 2020 riots. Criminal record expunged. So after, whatever. Banned from working in law enforcement. Well, what a mess, huh? Mildly attractive. What a terrible story. All right, so that's about it. I had wanted to show you this, but I don't know if I have time. This mega church. I wanted to show you about this mega church pastor who's bashing the Trump supporters. And I don't know if he's even wrong. He seems to be mischaracterizing what's going on in the country, what Trump is doing and the administration is doing with the illegals and all that stuff. And this John Pavlovitz guy, I feel like I might have tried to invite him as a guest on the JLP show in the past. I don't remember if I ever heard back from him. But I feel like I seem to recall his face and his name. But he's a liberal, so-called Christian. So I may get to that at a later time, but I want to get back to the calls. Let me get to it, actually. Because what I found striking about this was the obsession. The Trump derangement syndrome apparent sufferer. Not commie nonsense. Close. Drudge Report. This is the one. Ex-megachurch pastor. They are the very worst humanity has produced. Referring to Trump supporters, I guess. Oops. So this is a Substack piece by John Pavlovitz. No, good people don't still support Trump. Him. He calls him him, right? August 2nd. Right? 2nd? And so that was a week ago or so. A little bit more. And so there's a picture of Trump, and you can even hear the article. Everyone believes they're essentially a good human being. We all tell ourselves a story, he says. And I hate it when people say we. I sometimes do it too. I hate it. I hate it. We. No, you. Men's History Month. Men's History Month legend JLP says, no, you. Well, how many people are attached to you? Our side, he says, is eternally the right one. We've all spent a lifetime learning how to defend ourselves against criticism, especially the women, right? So he's talking about how human beings want to think that they're right. This is him. The Beautiful Mess by John Pavlovitz. Authentic words for everyone trying to figure out the best way to be human. 106,000 subs. Right on, man. Congratulations. But look at his top headlines, okay? Dear Republican friend, why are you so cruel? American Eagle's Sydney Sweeney ad reveals white America's racism. Racists always out themselves. No, good people don't still support him. Everyone believes they're essentially a good human being, referring to Trump, right? Trump supporters. To the people I know who voted for him, most popular. So Kamala Harris might have won, huh? I miss having a human president. And it has a picture of Biden. Oh, Lord. Biden is human. Trump is not. Talk about dehumanizing language, huh? It's time to cut ties with Trump supporters. These are all headlines from this guy. And they're the top headlines. So he's following is just Trump derangement syndrome sufferers, himself included. We could have had a president right now. And it has a picture of Kamala Harris. He thinks that she would have been a president. America chose the monster. Was his, and it has a picture of Trump. That's a person with an issue. A hater. We're never going to be the same, America, but we can still be beautiful. One day this will all be over. The white privilege of avoiding bad news. The Epstein files have already exposed the right. Franklin's Graham, if his hell exists, he's a shoo-in. Trump supporter, Franklin Graham, son of Billy Graham. Sort of a conservative guy. Couldn't say that Obama is a Christian. Couldn't say that he's not. Had a tough time. He's kind of, he's white. I don't understand women who support Donald Trump. This is all this guy. A Christian, a former megachurch pastor, according to Drudge. The fascists are trying to break you, good people. Wait a minute. He just said that we all think we're good people. Hey, good human, I wanted to remind you. The pathetic weakness of MAGA men. The ICE atrocities should be the final straw for decent human beings. This should be the final straw for us. Isn't it interesting? He thinks that the Trump supporters are evil, and we may well be, but he thinks he's good, and his readers are good, decent human beings. I just found that interesting. So that's your little mega church pastor. And I listened to the beginning of the article because he had it available in audio. And it was basically a bunch of his characterizations, if not mischaracterizations, of what Trump is doing. What a mess. So that's your little John Pavlovitz, I'm good, you're bad story. Pavlovitz, not itch. All right. So let's get back to the calls. I mean, see what I can do. All right? Brandi in Hawaii is on the line here. Brandi, happy Men's History Month to you.
Happy Men's History Month, Hake.
Thank you.
How's it? Good morning.
Morning.
I'm more awake today.
Yeah, it's 7:30 over there, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I slept more. I'm going to join your live chat more. I think I'm starting to like them. They're growing on me. The snake pit.
Wow, cool.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, shout out to George Washington. I was watching a documentary on him today or yesterday, and he's a very wise man. And did you know he had anger? I didn't know that. I was watching. He said he had like really bad anger that he had to control.
I didn't know that, but a lot of leader type men are faced with the frustration of dealing with people. Oh Lord. So I wouldn't be surprised. You know, men who do great things, very irritable, angry, because and they're forced to face it on some level, whether they face it or run from it. But they're forced to deal with people. You know, like great artists. So yeah, I could imagine that he might have been angry.
Yeah, he had anger, but he did a lot just before he was 21. And he had an amazing life. And, you know, he is so racist that he freed all his slaves before he died.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was a great man. And I just wanted to mention also the Muslim thing. That's kind of why actually I was calling.
Okay.
Man, I always go blank every time. I have like words that I want to say, and then I go blank. When I'm calling in, I get like nervous or something.
Yeah.
I lose my train of thought. I think that America actually has a huge problem with Islam, and I don't think we really know what we are dealing with. I think that it's just a matter of time before we have terrorist attacks here among us. I don't think that it's just France. I think they're trying to take over the whole world. And I think it was the Muslim Brotherhood. In fact, I know it. I don't think it. They, in 1980, had a 100-year goal to take over America. And it sure seems like they're using our freedom of religion to take us over as we speak.
Yeah.
With Ilhan Omar and all them in office. And that's their goal. I was like reading something that London had, like most of their leaders are Muslim right now.
Wow. Yeah, because they've had that.
Yeah.
They've had that Muslim mayor for like 10 years. It feels like.
Yeah.
Of
So
London, England.
We're in a lot of trouble if we don't start standing up and getting into office and voting these people out.
Yeah, and having those who can, having children and doing it in the right way, so that yes, even though we're few, they're making many. They're having babies like crazy. The Muslims are, and they say, as Congressman Steve King, former congressman of Iowa, said, demographics is destiny, and they are making the babies, so they're going to get the demographics on their side. If we don't put a clamp down on and protect our country, our nation, because a nation is a people, right? And so they're changing and transforming the nation to be theirs. And so, yeah, it's definitely an issue. And they're too unwieldy. They're too unwieldy for the people currently in power. They're going to get subverted. The subverters are going to get subverted. And worse.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people are like tricked by them, and they like don't know Sharia law or didn't study it, and then they're like all about women's rights. But I mean, the Islam, they say a dog's worth more than a woman.
Wow, that's messed up.
But they're like women's rights. They're like
that doesn't even
falling
make sense,
for the devil.
actually.
It's amazing to watch. It doesn't at all. They're crazy. And all these women are out there like Muslims, and we need the rights, and we should have them, and just all the crap that they're talking. And it's like they think that you're worth less than a dog, and you guys are like, yeah, let's have them.
There's people on the right who are on the so-called right, if you will, who are, they're so mad at the Jews that they want to embrace the Muslims more, but that's not wise.
Yeah, I don't understand why all of a sudden I don't understand what they're thinking.
It's hatred.
They obviously have
anger.
not studied any of this. They don't know any. They talk so much crap on Christians, but they don't even know how Muslims are or what their beliefs are.
You're talking about on the liberal side. Yeah.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, actually, there's a lot of people who are even on the right who are saying, "Oh, Christianity is so weak and girly and kiss up," and it is, and Muslim is more masculine and orderly and stuff like that. But
yeah, and the truth is they probably don't know either side.
Yeah.
Because they're just listening to the next person instead of like actually getting to know what the Bible or the Quran says.
Right.
And I studied both, and I studied, Muhammad. And, I don't want to say his real name. And he's not a good guy, not at all. And I can't believe how many people look up to him.
Yeah.
And
it's
how many women.
It's kind of like the commies. The communist heroes are awful people. And maybe even George Washington wasn't that great. I don't know.
I don't think anybody's really that great, right?
Yeah, true.
Nobody. All you could do is like live in the moment and try to do the best and make the best decision that you can and hope that you're doing the right thing. I think that's just life, right?
Yeah. What a mess.
Anyways, I don't want to take up much of your time.
Thank you for the heads up on these topics. Appreciate that, Brandy.
Yeah, I think that honestly, America's biggest problem is the Muslim and Islam. I think we're being tricked, and that's going to be what takes us down if we don't wake up.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Anyway,
there are a host of issues.
Heck yeah.
Are you, for the record, are you millennial or Gen X or boomer?
I am in the middle. I'm 83.
Okay, so you're millennial.
I grew up with the Gen Xers, and I grew up
too.
with millennial.
Same.
So I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm an exennial.
That's
what
right.
we're called, right?
Me too. I grew up thinking I was Gen X until they told me I was Gen Y, which is millennial.
Yeah. My brother-in-law and I debate on it.
Nice.
And I'm like, no, I'm in the middle. Anyways.
Good to hear from
All
you,
right, I'll
Brandy.
call you guys back.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
And William the Third over here. William, thank you for calling and holding. How you doing?
Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
it's going well.
I got hold on, I got something here. Okay. You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna do my Men's History Month real quick, and then I'll I'll give you the little news that we got up here in the Bay Area.
All right.
All right. We'll start off with Bud Hillerich.
Bud Hillerich?
Yes. HILLERICH.
Okay. Hillerick and Bradsby. During the 1880s, Hillerick hired his 17-year-old son, John Bud Hillerick. The Louisville Slugger. He made the first Louisville Slugger bat. Is that what you're referring to? 170 years ago. Whoa. From Louisville, Kentucky. That is awesome.
That a good one?
I think so.
Yeah. Still using that product to this day, I think. I don't know. I think they're getting their bats built by different companies, but I think they're still around.
Okay.
Yeah. The second one is going to be William Felton.
William Felton,
Russell.
huh?
Russell.
Okay. I appreciate the... who is he? Oh, Bill Russell. Is this the same guy that you mentioned last time, or no?
No, that
I
was
must be
Chamberlain.
confusing. Oh, Wilt Chamberlain. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, you remind me of JLP's book, The Antidote. Ofari, something, Orenthal, James.
Yeah, well,
Simpson.
those are their names.
O.J. Simpson.
Orenthal Simpson. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Bill Russell,
yeah.
American basketball center. Black dude. Nice.
Mm-hmm. McCormick High School, Oakland, University of San Francisco, Boston Celtics.
Nice.
One of the greatest. It's the guy that gave Will Chamberlain problems. And Will Chamberlain was the most dominant ever. But Bill Russell, you know, they talk about Michael Jordan's 6 NBA championships or whatever. But Bill Russell, you got to remember, he took, I think, 12 out of 11 straight. So he's a team player.
Nice.
He made his team. He made all his teams better. That's what he did real good.
That's cool.
And Will Chamberlain carried his teams.
Okay.
Right. The
Shout
third
out.
one's going to be, I mean, you know, it's how you play the game. Efren, this one's a good one from Mark. He might remember this guy. Efren, Efrem,
All
Zeppelin
right.
Jr.
Oh.
Zeppelin Jr.
Zimbalist Jr., American
Yeah.
actor,
right.
1918 to 2014. Okay.
That's right. I think he played in Spider-Man, I think, one of the newer ones. But he's, like when we were kids, you know, we always wanted to look at Gomer Pyle and Hell's Navy and the Monsters and Batman. Your parents would come home from work and they would turn that off. This is back when you had one TV in the house. Hey, Dad will turn that off. Especially
Nice.
being in the Marines, he ain't gonna want to see Gomer Pyle. That just really offended him. But he let us look at it. It's just kids, let them look. But the Zeppelin Jr. played on a TV show, the FBI.
Okay.
That's where all the grown-ups would come. The kids would be in front of the TV looking at all the goofy stuff, and your father would come home and say, and just walk right in front of you and turn it and put it on. This is one of those shows.
Nice.
Like Dragnet and all of them, but this is
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
shout out to him.
So are those
Rest in
good
peace.
Men History Month contributions?
Yeah, I appreciate those.
Okay. So I think what happened, did something fall from in Georgia into a house, you said?
Yep, a meteorite. A meteorite fell. I'm gonna have to. I have to keep it moving. Actually,
Yeah.
William.
Okay.
Make
okay.
a quick point about that if you wanted to.
Where did it come from?
Space, which is real, obviously.
And where did this come from? There's never been a spacewalk by. We did a spacewalk in '65. Ed White.
That's right.
Ed White.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know Ed White, but I believe space is real.
The Gemini space program, '65. Why did we get the lunch pails with Ed White on it?
Nice, because it was real.
We got
Thanks,
we
man.
had the Outside Lands concert out here, 300,000 people in San Francisco. Nobody shot.
Wow.
So shout out to the white people. They just sat on the lawn with their cheese sandwiches, and nobody got shot.
Indeed. Shout out to the whites, keeping it civilized.
Yeah.
I love civilization. If I love anything. Thank you, man.
That's right. All right.
All right. Take care. And Rick in Hampton, VA. Rick, are you there? Please be there.
What's up, James? What's going on?
Not much. It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you, brother. Shoot. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was cool. It was fun.
Wow, man. I heard some of the church service yesterday, man. It was pretty interesting, if you will.
For sure. Church with JLP is always a highlight of the week.
You know, that's how church should be, really. You know, just like how Jesse does, how they did it in the biblical days. You know, they'll have a topic to talk about, and then they'll just talk about it and use the scriptures to verify the answers.
That's right.
And
well,
and I think Jesse is the only one that Jesse makes Christianity real simple.
That's
while
right.
Everybody makes it emotional.
Yeah. It's so practical and real and dealing with reality and the spirit of things, not just physical wrongdoing stuff.
Without everybody putting their hands in their face, screaming and shouting.
That's right.
And happy Men's Day to all my brothers. Men, stay strong,
Yeah.
You know, James, I can tell a liberal man in most cases and a liberal woman when they, if they liberal, I can tell by looking at them. I may not be all the time right.
Yeah.
But I can tell, like some of your women, they'll have wild color hair, the subcom ring, on their nose, and just rebellious.
Shout out.
Most liberal men tend to complain, just complain.
They do, huh?
That'd be one thing, man, you a blessed man. Like the trades, you a plumber. And just because you overspend don't mean you don't make no money.
That's true. Yep.
Just
good point.
You overspend don't mean you don't make any money, man.
That's a fact. Complainers live better.
And that's how I can tell most times when men are liberal, they tend to complain, be emotional.
That's very true, man.
And they just tend not to be masculine, in my opinion.
Yep.
And women tend to, and they've been I think it was like a poll was saying most liberal women tend to go through a lot of mental issues and stuff, and I believe that. Yeah,
they do. They suffer more from the so-called mental illness stuff, and they also gravitate more towards the medication and mess like that.
Right.
Rick, I got to end in just less than a minute here. It's good talking with you.
Hey, always good talking to you. Thanks for taking my call, James. Always good to hear from my brothers and sisters. And old brother William, always good to hear from that brother.
Nice. Thanks again,
I
Rick.
love you guys, man. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take care.
Yeah.
And the rest of the callers. Facts versus Truth, Christian in Utah. That's one of my T-shirts. One of my T-shirts is kind of like the biblical question. Facts versus Truth. Nice. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. I do hope you enjoyed it. Do catch American Anchor Baby coming up next. Peace in the Middle East. Or at least in your hearts. I'm playing this video thing and I'm going away. Bye. Take care. at the beach.